What's up, Giants fans, Hub watchers, YouTube subscribers, Twitter and Instagram followers, and Kidblue watchers? As y'all could see, he got a new haircut. His sideburns are completely gone. He might have gone to shape up
Yeah,
as
it's
well. I
gone.
can't
Shape
really
up,
tell.
yeah. I got the shape
Yeah,
up, got this little skin fade going. Kept the
got a little
top,
skin fade.
kept the
Listen,
top, yeah.
maybe this helps get the Giants fortunes in the right way, like it's been going for the past couple of weeks. Real
Yeah, yeah,
quick,
yeah.
shout out to everybody in the chat. I see Joseph Balby, Mets fan 11, Quincy Cash, Ligma, and Ligma finally shortened his name. Remember his name was Wet
Yeah,
360 Waves Daniel Jones. Yeah,
he'll probably change it again just because you said that.
exactly. Nerding on Sports, Joe Yato, Logan's Gaming Lounge. Shout out to everybody in here. David AV and Sugar Tots member in the house. Member, what's it called? StreamYard does not load the emojis, so it is what it is, guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Guys, make sure you share the stream. Get everybody in here and let's kick it off, man. I mean, well, it's been a pretty quiet week, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Ever since the whole Colombo situation, ain't really much Giants news going on, KB. Or did something pop off that I did not see?
Not really. I mean, nothing crazy. I guess we're on to Cincinnati, like the title of this live is. I mean, we're on to Cincinnati. I guess the news we can start off with is Xavier McKinney. And I like it cut G. I guess we can start off with Xavier McKinney and O'Shane. They're coming back. They're back at practice. We don't know if they're gonna be back on Sunday, but they're back at practice, which is good.
Oh yeah, I thought you were still going. Nice. Yeah. Shout out to David A. He's talking about one of the new sweatshirts that I put out today. I'm gonna show it later on in the stream. But
just so you know, man.
Yeah.
I'm definitely getting a Wayne Train shirt.
The Wayne Train one?
Done deal. That's color? A sick shirt.
What color though?
I haven't decided yet. I'm gonna
be honest with you. I think the light gray goes well with it.
Yeah? Yeah, I'm definitely getting a shirt, man. You're freaking graphic design god, dude.
Hey, listen, I said it in the post. I said when I announced it yesterday. I was the creativity behind it, but like the brawn behind it. You know, the guy who actually knows how to use Adobe Illustrator. That's my guy Farhan, man. It was a joint effort. Would not have been able to do it without him.
Well, yeah, sure. I definitely need to get in you guys' meetings, man.
Hey, listen, you already know. We already been talking. We'll talk after stream about it. But yeah, you said McKinney is back. McKinney, was he in full pads today? I think I might have seen somebody. I know he was running around.
I saw a picture of him, and it looked like he was, but I don't know. I don't know if he was missing anything. I assume if he's in any pads, he's in full pads, right? I don't think he would be in half pads, right? So I think I saw him in pads.
I'm looking at Xavier's account right now. He doesn't look like he's in any pads. This is his Twitter account. He tweeted out 2 pictures. You know, it's first day out is the comment, and it doesn't look like he has pads. Unless
the New York Giants posted him and said the X-Men are back, and it had both of these guys in pads.
Mm-hmm.
So pads and helmet.
I mean, I might be tripping, bro. I see the helmet. Unless this pad is really small, because I'm looking for the bulging shoulders. What I'm looking for. Unless those pads are really small, it doesn't look like he is. Maybe I'm wrong.
He's in pads. He's definitely in pads. Yeah. You can see it. You can see the back of it. You can see the little thing, the thing coming off.
Oh, the strap.
The strap. Yeah. He's wearing pads.
Exactly. So here's the thing, right? Logan Ryan. He was asked about it. I think everybody's gonna be asked about McKinney. Low key, the original X-Men and Jimenez is being forgotten. I'm not really. I don't really.
I forgot him already.
Yeah, I forgot about him already. I think we're all rightfully so hyped about McKinney. So Logan Ryan, he only said 2 words about McKinney. He said he's Weapon X. Xavier McKinney is Weapon X according to Logan Ryan.
Dude, when I hear Weapon X, I'm thinking Wolverine.
Exactly. And by the way, we do have a surprise guest in here tonight. It is Lauren from She Got Sports.
Oh, she's in. Oh, I didn't even know she was going to join us. Yeah. What's going on, Lauren?
Hey guys,
make sure you go over to both of their channels and sub them up. Lauren, we were just talking about Xavier McKinney and how Logan Ryan called him Weapon X.
Yeah, so I saw on Twitter, I forget which reporter tweeted this, but that Logan Ryan was basically speaking during the interviews like he was going to play this week. So that is very exciting.
He's on track.
Really?
I forget which reporter tweeted that. I forget which reporter, but one of the reporters tweeted that. So I forget which one.
I'll tell you this. I said prematurely in my video on Monday that he's going to be out there Sunday, and it was prematurely because I took a report that said he's on track. I assume that means he's going to play. But every report is saying he should be on track to play on Sunday.
I think maybe it was Art Stapleton.
There's a couple beat reporters.
Maybe.
As long as we don't cite Jordan Renan ever again.
Yeah,
we're good. I've got beef with Jordan.
And by the way, shout out to David A.V. and all Giants fans. He says Logan Ryan leads all free safeties in Pro Bowl. But y'all need to go out there and vote for these Giants players, man.
No, wait. Where did we get that stat at?
I have no idea. Too, though. I definitely.
Where did you guys see it?
Is there any?
Saw that on, what's that account, like Pro Football, My Sports Update, like, that account.
Okay. Oh yeah, they do put out a lot of football information.
Does he really lead the free safety voting? His first
year
at free safety?
Listen, KB, you already know I myself alone I voted 20 times because you're allowed to vote unlimited times. So I voted 20 times for each of the players that I want to get into the Pro Bowl. I'm probably gonna vote another 20.
This dude, voter fraud. Get this man.
Hey, the NFL literally says you could vote unlimited times.
Yeah, you can vote however you want. I forgot how the voting system works. I think a third of it is from fans, and then the other 2/3 are for like the higher ups in the NFL. They get the final say of who goes to the Pro Bowl or whatever. But yeah. What's going on, everybody? But yeah, as far as that goes, is there any way you could see like all live updates on who's leading, or they just throw out any information?
There's no way to see all live updates on who's leading.
But that's crazy. That's crazy. Logan Ryan.
I was kind of surprised. Like, not in a bad way, obviously.
Yeah. Does anybody know where Jabril Peppers is? I mean, Peppers, if anything, definitely deserves a Pro Bowl. Does anybody know where he's ranked?
I don't know. But
I only saw the first place guys.
But I mean, I could think offhand, like. I don't like it's New York Giants, so I'm all for it. Like I love it, but at the same time, I'm like, why is he leading in free safety? Like Budda Baker, Budda Baker's hurt, isn't he? I can think of a couple of free safeties that I'm like, oh, why don't they get any? Why aren't they leading in votes? But hey, Logan Ryan's doing what he does right now for the Giants, so he's doing well.
Yeah, Bradbury needs to get in.
Yeah,
if Bradbury isn't one of the top cornerbacks.
He's not.
Everyone, I feel like, talks about him nationally.
He's going to be the Levante David of cornerbacks because Levante David's still yet to be in the Pro Bowl. And he's always been one of the top linebackers in the NFL. He's going to be the Levante David this year, man. Bradbury is playing phenomenal right now. He's the one guy that I don't care if anybody else gets in, but him. He needs to get in.
He really deserves it.
Yeah.
What I love about Bradbury, though, is like his celebrations are so low key. Like he literally locks down everyone and is so low key about it.
Like he's just a low key dude in general. The way he carries himself, the way he speaks, interviews, and everything. Like you don't hear much of James Bradbury. He just goes out there and balls.
Literally. Yeah.
That's it. He just goes out there and does his job. And the guys I voted for, once again, I counted 20 times. These were the guys I voted for. Our entire defensive line. So Leo, Dex, and Dalvin. Voted for Blake Martinez, obviously James Bradbury, Logan, and Peppers. And then you cannot forget the special teams dudes, man. Godfather Graham Gano, Riley Dixon.
The Godfather.
Exactly. And Casey Crater.
Yes, Riley. Everybody's talking about all these other players, but like Riley Dixon. Riley Dixon's been like consistently one of the, just with Graham Gano, just every single week going out there and perforning. His punts are phenomenal.
Get it. What is it? Not kicker, sorry, punter. Johnny Hecker.
Yeah, Hecker. Yeah.
Did they only select one per team?
They only get one. Yeah, punters only one, kickers are only one as well, which is stupid. But so if you're not the best in your conference, you're not going.
Yeah, Johnny Hecker's been really good. Like every time I've watched the Rams, everyone's been hyping up Johnny Hecker.
Yeah.
Well, at least then Gano should definitely have the NFC locked up for best kicker. I don't think there's a kicker in the NFC that could really.
He's only missed once.
Will Lutz might get it from popularity.
Hopefully that's not how it actually turns out. It goes down to a popularity contest.
Yeah.
But getting back
in the AFC, that would mean the Money Badger gets in. No, I'm just kidding.
What's it?
Badgley.
The Money Badge. Oh, Money. Is that what they call it? I just messed up his nickname.
I know for sure it's gonna be Justin Tucker in the AFC. He always gets it. I mean, not like he doesn't deserve it, but he will get it.
Yeah, he always gets it.
So getting back to Xavier McKinney, this was something that absolutely nobody really knows about. How are we using him when he comes back, man? I'm going to start off with Lauren here, then I'm going to go to KB. Are you putting him directly at free safety? Are you going to explore several options? What are you doing with McKinney when he comes back?
I feel like he's going to be all over the place, and they're definitely going to try different things because I believe this was on the Giants site. I was reading this, like the release or the article they put out after they drafted him, just basically saying he's a guy who can play all over and is like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like jack of all traits. I feel like that's not the perfect word, but he can kind of do it all and can make plays almost wherever. So I think we're going to see him just kind of all over the place, to be honest. Especially in his first game, because I don't think he's going to start.
Shout out to OGR Sports for the $5 super chat. Go over there. OGR guys already hit 1,000 subs. This Friday on his channel, it will be the 1,000 subscriber celebration stream. So guys, keep your eyes out for that. Man hit a big milestone. He says, apparently I'm not young enough to be a young gun. LOL. What's good, guys? P.S. BBS is a secret Cowboys fan. We already know this information. All joking aside, happy Thanksgiving. Have a good one. OGR, I blanked out there for a second. Yeah, happy Thanksgiving to everybody, because I'm probably not going to be doing a video or a stream tomorrow, because I'll just be taken aside by food, y'all. So I'm going to get my happy Thanksgiving out of the way.
I'm going to eat and then hibernate.
Exactly. I'm going to eat. I'm going to get the itis and sleep for like 12 hours, man.
Right.
And then we got another one coming in here. I see it popped up on YouTube. I'm waiting for it to pop up on StreamYard. There is a shout out to James Carter. James Carter was actually my 100th subscriber. So he's been with the channel for a minute now. He called in last night. He says, what's up, guys? Just wanted to say I hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving. Let's beat Cincinnati. Thank you, James Carter.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it.
KB, where are we using McKinney when he comes back?
Well, how I was thinking about it, and this is the type of things I think about, So I don't think about nothing else but football.
By it.
Yeah, this is the only thing I really think about is football. So I was thinking about it. I come to the solution of Xavier McKinney playing the money backer role. And for those of you guys that don't know what a money backer role is, it's a guy that's kind of a safety in the NFL, a safety / linebacker hybrid, and it's what the Arizona Cardinals have run for a while. That's why they got guys like Isaiah Simmons. They've got guys like Hassan Reddick in the past. They kind of have that money backer role. Guys that are able to roam around and play linebacker and safety.
I'm asking this because I actually don't know. Is Budda Baker in a money backer role, or is he just a really?
No, he's a safety. He's a safety, but he's used like a Tyrann Mathieu is. So he's like a safety / cornerback. I'm talking about like the slightly bigger guys. The guys are athletic but bigger. So like linebacker safety type builds, not like cornerback safety type builds. So I think Xavier McKinney is going to come down and kind of play with Jabril Peppers is almost like a money backer for us. But
I mean, listen, they've been letting him roam.
They let him roam. But here's the thing: I think they're gonna keep him as strong safety. Matter of fact, I could probably see Jabril Peppers play money backer because he's not the best guarding tight ends, and I think Xavier McKinney will do a better job guarding tight ends. So I think they're trying to interchange that. But one thing I will say, and this might be far-fetched, this might be unpopular, but I'm not putting Xavier McKinney at free safety. Not doing it. I'm not saying he won't perform well, but I'm not taking
for his career or for the rest of the season.
No, just for this season. Because first, he's coming back off an injury. That's a big role to play, and it's been a crucial role for us throughout the season. And you don't want to take Logan Ryan out of where he was playing the best at, right? Logan Ryan is playing phenomenal football right now. Lauren just said he's leading Pro Bowl votes right now for free safeties. Keep him there at free safety. Let him play throughout there and let him learn under a new position where he's able to kind of get a feel of everything. I think the money backer role for Xavier McKinney is probably the best fit for him, where he's able to roam around and not have a specific job. And Jabril Peppers kind of hold down the strong safety, or maybe you could switch it around. Have Jabril Peppers play money backer and have Xavier McKinney play strong safety. But either way, no matter how you slice it, the Giants are going to be playing that 3-3-5 nickel, right? They're going to be playing, three safeties all the time, in my opinion. I think they're going to be playing three safeties all the time. That's what they've been doing with Julian Love, and it's not going to be any different with Xavier McKinney.
Exactly. Now, you said it might be unpopular. I think it will be unpopular if you actually mean for the rest of the season. I still want to, and I could be wrong here, I still want to eventually shift McKinney into his free safety role, because that's what he's going to play next year at the very least. Next season, I think he's going to slide back in and be our starting free safety. But I completely get where you're coming from. Logan Ryan is balling out at free safety right now. I can't think that the only reason he's leading free safety votes is because Giants fans voting more than once. I think some of it has to do with
it was all the hub. We have 10,000 votes from one user,
from one IP address.
Yeah,
like what is happening here, right? But so I get where you're coming from. The thing is, and maybe I should have more faith in Patrick Graham, considering how amazingly he's been doing this far in the season. I don't know how well he could use a money backer. And you know what? Maybe it's just because I haven't seen it yet. I mean, I've said that literally. I say this all the time. I praise the defense all the time, yet every single week I'm like, something else happens. They have to go bad now, and they just continue to surprise me, right? Yeah. So it's like, hey, man, I don't know. What are you expecting from the defense in general this game, Lauren?
Because honestly, as we were just having this conversation, I was thinking about it. Like, as they say, if it's not broken, don't fix it. Like, I don't know how much you want to mess with the defense. Like, obviously, getting McKinney back is a boost, but I wouldn't like move Logan Ryan out of that spot now. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't think like what's been working has been working, and let's stick with it. But what I expect from the Giants defense versus Cincinnati, someone just said this in the chat. I forget who. Sorry, just comment if you did. But like, trap games are a real thing.
Oh, this right here, right? Mark Primetime.
Yes.
Shout out to Mark Primetime, by the way. He's a Cowboys fan.
Trap games are such a real thing.
Add voodoo on us, Mark Primetime. Don't be doing that.
But like, come on, it's after a bye week. You definitely have to be thinking about it. But you know, I'm blanking on his name. Allen is starting now.
Right?
So we're not even playing their second string quarterback in Finley. We're playing the guy that was on the practice squad, their third string quarterback.
But Allen did start last year for Denver at times.
Three starts, yeah.
The numbers weren't great. I'll say that, but he has. It's not like this guy has never started before. But listen, the defense should have a pretty good game. There should be 3 turnovers forced by the defense, let's say. Like, this should be.
Listen, they should get pressure. Not only because they're playing a third string quarterback.
Bobby Hart.
Yeah, their offensive.
Their offensive line is so bad.
It ain't good.
Bobby Hart.
Yeah, so I think this should be a game for the defense. Like, when I say a game, obviously, I mean a good game for the defense. I think they're going to be forcing turnovers, getting sacks, like you said. But yeah, trap games are a real thing, and that's definitely in the back of my head.
KB?
Oh yeah, for sure. Whenever the Giants face a team, and usually we don't really fall short to trap games, like
San Francisco.
What do you mean San Francisco?
San Francisco was definitely a trap game. We were supposed to.
No, we're wait, week 3?
Yeah.
No, they were still a really good team.
We were playing their practice squad players.
But I predicted not to lose that game. I knew we were going to lose that game. Okay, I'm talking about games.
I would say we could be considered a trap game.
I'm talking about games like against Washington, where we're supposed to blow out the team, and we wound up, that we fall short to a trap game. That doesn't really happen like that. Okay, Washington came into that game with a better record than us. San Francisco came into that game with a better record than us. I'm talking about games like this where they're terrible. And they're not that much terrible than we are, but they're missing their starting quarterback and from short notice.
Joe Mixon's on IR, I think, right?
And Joe Mixon's on IR, and actually Gio Bernard is also hurt too. He will not be playing.
He's not playing.
Wait, out already?
When did they announce this?
Today. Samaje Perine is going to be the starter. And Samaje Perine's a former Washington player, so he's going to be facing the Giants.
You're lying to me, bro.
Yeah. No, I'm not lying.
What is his injury?
It says it's concussion.
What, do you get him on fantasy or something like that? You seem distraught.
No, the reason I'm shocked more than distraught is because I really considered. I usually record my preview videos on Thursdays, edit and get up on Friday. No, I considered doing it today because I was like, I'm gonna be busy tomorrow, but I put it off like last minute. When I mean last minute, at like the very last minute, like maybe 30 minutes before the stream began, because I was like, I have time to record it. Mm-hmm. I did not know if I did, that would have messed up my entire preview because I was going in there thinking Gio was healthy. It says
Gio's been in the league for so long, though. Good for him.
He's been one of my favorite players because, first of all, he has my first name. So there's not a lot of players, and my camera keeps unfocusing, but there's not a lot of players in the NFL with the name Giovanni. So he's always been one of my favorites. But when he came into the league, he actually had a really good start of his career, and then they kept drafting running backs, and he's like getting lower and lower on the
remember Jeremy Hill and stuff.
Yeah, Jeremy Hill. And I was like, no, give my guy Bernard some carry.
He played well like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he like 2 touchdowns. He always plays well, but they don't want to start him.
I'm seeing everywhere they're saying that he has a concussion and he's in concussion protocol, but he's not officially ruled out yet. His game time decision is in jeopardy, though.
Yeah, they're gonna rule him out if he's in concussion protocol.
Well, how long is concussion protocol usually? Like how many days?
I don't know, but if you go through the entire concussion protocol, you probably have a concussion. So, they're probably not going to start him anyway. Real quick, I'm looking at their defense depth chart because it's been changing around all season. They got rid of Carlos Dunlap, Kirkpatrick, guys like that. So I'm looking at their starting defense, and you know what? It doesn't look terrible on paper, but they're bad. Okay, they're not good. You got guys like Von Bell and Jesse Bates is playing some really good football.
I think their defense, I think we could say, is led by their safeties.
Their secondary is actually pretty damn good. I'm a huge William Jackson fan. Ever since out of the draft, William Jackson out of Houston, one of my favorite guys out there. Mackenzie Alexander, former second-round pick in Minnesota out of Clemson. Former Ohio State guy, Von Bell at safety. Their secondary is can make some plays on you. So Daniel Jones might have a little bit of a hard time there. But as far as the run game goes, I think we're going to run all over this team. I honestly think so.
So I just want to say, to respond to Mark Primetime real quick, Mark, we covered this literally probably before you tuned in here. I initially wanted to do this. Then KB brought up a good point. The defense is playing so well now, particularly Logan Ryan is playing so well at free safety that just keep him there for the rest of the season and use McKinney as that guy that's going to be all over the field. And I think he kind of convinced the rest of us of that. Lauren, you were going to say something?
Yeah, I mean, this Bengals team with Joe Burrow did beat the Titans, and they did, keep Derrick Henry in check for a lot of the game. I think in the fourth quarter, he had a few, like a handful of yards and a touchdown, but it really wasn't until like later in the game that he started to, really get rushing yards. But I think that's something just to keep in the back of our heads. And I know someone just said in the chat, like their wide receivers, T. Higgins is like out. So underrated. I feel not enough people are talking about him. Like he has been playing extremely well.
And it doesn't make sense because even in the draft process and in college, T. Higgins was one of the top receivers. And now I feel like it's just because he's on the Bengals that people forgot about him.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to go the first round.
Yeah. And just to make you guys feel better, because Lauren, you mentioned Derrick Henry and how he only started getting going in the fourth quarter. That's just Derrick Henry all the time. He always sucks in the first three quarters and he just balls out in the fourth. I had like a huge argument with Titans fans on that one time because I started throwing some smoke toward Derrick Henry and they didn't like it so much. But as far as that goes, I completely agree with you. They stopped Derrick Henry, but I think we could run against this team, man. I really think we can.
Okay, listen, I'm gonna correct you right there, right? And first of all, for anybody that's just tuning in, not really breaking news, but breaking news to me. And I saw a couple people in the chat that noted as well. Gio Bernard might be out with a concussion. So that's just a better case for the Giants. Prayers up to Gio Bernard. What I'm going to say to KB here, KB said he thinks we might be able to run against the Cincinnati team. No, we should dominate Cincinnati.
we should dominate. Okay.
You're talking about not only all the injuries, even when this team was fully healthy, they were a bad team.
Yeah, that's why Carlos Dunlap wanted out.
Yeah, let's not forget that they were a bad team even when healthy. And now the injuries on top of it, this should be a game that the Giants dominate, honestly. And I don't know, just as a Giants fan, because of what we faced in the past, it makes me more worried that it's just looking sweeter and sweeter for us. But regardless, especially since we're trying to make a playoff run, don't make any mistake about it. I think everybody in the organization wants to make a playoff run. They need to dominate this game.
I hope this is the game that we blow somebody out. I want to see a game like this. Although I'll be working, I'll be listening on the radio while I'm working. So I hope we blow this team out, man. I really do.
I mean, listen, I was in the call-in show last night, right? Basically, every single person that called into me, every single caller, if the Bengals game was mentioned, they said it needs to be a two-digit win. It needs to be 10 points or more. And even their score predictions, when I asked them, I had one of them said it's going to be a 17-point win. At the very least, listen.
Wow, that's bold.
They believe that it should be a big win difference. Because
it should be, but will it?
Yeah, will it be?
Oh, will it?
So that's what I'm asking you guys. Should it be a big win, like a big thing? How should it be? And then is that important? Like that would be the second part of the question. Let me get Lauren and then KB.
Well, yeah, it definitely should be at least a double-digit win. And I think it's really important because they're coming out of the bye. And we saw the Eagles coming out of the bye last week. They didn't look good. So we're going to see this Giants team come out of the bye for the first time with Joe Judge as the coach. How is this team going to look coming out of the bye? And I think that's going to be a big thing. And if they come out of this bye with a huge win, a double-digit win, that's even if it is against the Bengals, like as it should be against the Bengals, obviously that's who they're playing. I think any big win coming out of a bye is great for the rest of your season.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. The fact that we're coming off the bye, we need this win too. And this win, and you saying how important would it be? Forget about the blowout. It's just important to win this game. All right. If the Giants have any hopes of making a playoff run at all, we need this win here to try to boost up our confidence and help our win total because we got a tough stretch for the rest of the season. And, everybody thinks that just because we're coming off the bye that we're just
real quick,
KB,
I'm sorry. Everybody say hi to Bobby.
Bobby, what's going on, Bobby? What's up, Bobby?
Hi, go on.
That's just funny. We love you, Bobby. But, everybody thinks that, when the team comes off the bye, like if the Giants come off the bye, we're just going to get this automatic win. Remember, the Giants for 2 consecutive times have beat teams coming off the bye. Washington was coming off their bye and we beat them, and Philly was coming off their bye and we beat them.
Somebody brought up earlier.
It definitely happened to us.
Yeah, somebody brought up earlier. I don't know if they said it was this year or in general. NFL teams just have a terrible record coming off the bye week.
I don't know what it is. Somebody had said it. There was a former NFL player was saying it. He's like it's so overrated when teams come off the bye because that week that everybody thinks that you're in practice and you're preparing. No, that week you're home. You're home and you're for 4 days. You're not going through your practice drills. You're not, so you get a taste of being lazy a little bit. You get to sit back and relax. And what happens when you have a weekend away from work, right? And you come back to work on a Monday, you're all groggy, you're tired, right?
That's why I hope. Wait, do we know when they came back from work? Because I know Judge gave them like a day off. I know that for a fact, at least 1 day off. I hope he brought them back a little early, specifically to avoid that, and just because that it seems like something Judge would do.
Well, they were saying that on a bye week, players have like 4 days off, and they're in their bye week, so they're not doing anything. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you had 2 weeks to prepare for this team." Not really. I mean, they're not doing.
Listen. To be fair, it's still more time than usual.
You've got a doppelganger in the chat, by the way, but you got an imposter. There's an imposter among us. He's got the same color you're wearing right now, man.
Hey, his color is a little off, man.
Oh, that's hilarious.
I want to bring back up this comment real quick, and I do agree with this. Joey Addo says they don't need a high score, but we need to have 150 yards rushing and dominate the time possession. Yes, we need to have a game where our running back leads in rushing.
Yeah, that's
right.
Oh yes, I just want to have our running backs lead in rushing. Like I love you, Daniel Jones, but damn, you make Wayne Gallman look worse. You make Gallman look bad, man. He's so good. He needs to lead the team in rushing and at least lead the team in rushing. Yeah, Alfred Morris too. I want Wayne Gallman.
Alfred Morris get some big runs.
I want to see Wayne Gallman get his first 100-yard rushing day, man. I want to see that happen, man. He deserves it. He's been getting a lot of touchdowns. He has 5 touchdowns through the span of 4 games, if I'm not mistaken. So he's been playing really well so far. So hopefully he gets that against the Bengals. Kidblue rooting for the Bengals anyway. Why does everybody think I love every team except the Giants? Oh my god.
By the way, shout out to Juan Gotti Talking Sports. This is a Washington football team fan. I believe he has his own channel. He popped in one time when me and PTA were streaming one of the Giants versus Washington games. He was very confident, and he's still confident right now. He says Washington will still win the division. Hey man, listen, I don't know. Who knows? Tell
you what. Juan Gotti, the only reason why you beat the Bengals because Joe Burrow went down, and if you guys beat the Bengals that badly, I know the Giants are gonna smoke this team. And we beat the Philly by 10 points 2 weeks ago. I know we're gonna beat the Bengals. It just depends by how much.
So he says I'm the guy that said Kyle Murray is overrated and doesn't have an arm. He's misquoting me. Go back and I know which video he's talking about. And even in there, I did say I'm gonna say what I said. I was wrong about that because he currently is in the MVP conversation.
We talked about the MVP. Yeah, I agree.
I made a video before the season began saying, why is Kyler Murray in MVP conversations already? He hasn't played his second year yet. Yeah. And that's basically what I talked about. I didn't say he was overrated. I say people jump to MVP too quickly and suddenly these guys develop.
I had a video just like that, but it was
exactly. And in that same video, I actually said Kyler's accuracy is probably the best out of that draft class. So I know that's a misquote for sure, my guy. Come on. Oh, he was talking about. Okay, he wasn't referring to me. He was referring to Caden. Hey, I had to defend myself out of the way, bro. Giants content creators been having a rough week. All right.
Yeah,
we've been having a rough week.
We got damn mainstream reporters attacking us. Like, that's how you know they watch our stuff and they're jealous, man. They watch our stuff and they're jealous. Keys to winning, Kidblue, don't stream. I need your phone number and I'll screen your.
All right. So let's get back to that.
Jaden try to shoot a shot there a little bit, just very
shot. Looking at Lauren's face, I could tell it bounced off the rim. But getting back to the topic at hand,
it airballed.
Getting back to the topic at hand, right? I love what Joel said. Sabrina said it as well, and we didn't really get to talk. How important is it to get that double-digit win? I think everybody would just be satisfied with a win in general, but I think what we'd be worried about. If it's something like the Bengals or for some reason hold time of possession, or the Bengals for some reason have like dominance in the game and the Giants make some type of comeback, right? Do you see that happening at all? Or like, how would you feel if that's happening?
I would feel very bad. I would feel really bad if it's a situation like the first Washington game and Cincinnati goes for 2 and they don't get it, and that's how we win.
Oh, God.
I feel not good.
Yeah. I mean, one big problem, and it does worry me. One big problem the Giants have is even though they've been looking good in these games, they have 3 wins. Not even in the games they've won, they've been able to play all 4 quarters. Like, it's always been in the 4th quarter they start letting up. Like, look at the games we've lost, then we look at the games we've won. Like, the games we've lost, what was it against Philly? The first Philly game, we were up 21-10, and then we allow a comeback.
Yeah,
same thing.
That game.
The same thing with Tampa Bay. We were up like 14-3 on Tampa Bay or something like that. So some crazy score like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we wound up letting that up in the 4th quarter and losing that game. And look at the games we won. Both Washington games, we were dominating them, and they came back to make the score. Well, the first one was 20-19, and the second one was what? What was it? What was the 23-20? You know, so
it's it was like 23-20. Yeah.
The first one was 20-19. The second one was 23-20. But we dominated both of those games, and we made the score look close.
I'm gonna ask you this for you guys to be confident. Give me the ballpark area of where we should score.
Where we should score.
Yeah, I'm not asking for like a direct score prediction, like Giants win this score, this score. But what's the ballpark of where we should score considering the defense we're going up against?
I think we should be getting at least 30.
A 30 burger, all right.
I think we should at least be getting 30. Just by measuring by how the Giants been playing. We scored 27 on Philadelphia, and they've got a good defense, and they're our rivals, and they just beat us the week, 2 weeks prior to that, to playing them. So I think we come back and we play harder, and I guess a weaker defense too. So I think we should be able to get over 30. Doesn't mean we will. I think we should though.
Lauren?
50. No, I'm just kidding. Honestly, I'm right there with you though. I was gonna say 28 was my number.
28. Okay. Shout out to Kalen Dragon. He says NFC East predictions: Washington wins 28-24. Hey, and that's the next topic.
I think it's Detroit too. Yeah.
He says New York wins 28-10.
Oh, I would love a game like that.
I would love that.
Well,
give me a stress-free game, please.
Well, give me one field goal. Let's make it 31-10 because I need Greg Gano to give me some fantasy.
I can't remember
points.
if it was James Carter or another caller. They said what they want is the Giants defense to completely shut them out in the end zone for all their scores to just come from field goals for the Bengals. That's one my caller said.
Here's one thing. It's possible, but because Brandon Allen is throwing the football, but you got to remember who's at the other end there. T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. I mean, they got some decent receivers there. I'm not worried about one of them. Whoever's matched up on James Bradbury, I'm not worried about whatsoever. I'm worried about the opposite side. Like whether it's T. Higgins or Tyler Boyd, I'm worried about, Isaac Yadam playing against whoever's on that opposite side.
Shout out to, I'm going to butcher this, Tuto Azuri, man. He says greetings, or I actually don't know if that's a he or a she, my bad, because I've never heard that name before. They say, greetings from Palermo, Sicily, Italy. You guys are so awesome. Go Giants. I think this is my first ever Italian fan, man. Thank you for tuning in.
What's going on,
Giants
man?
fans worldwide. But
yeah.
Let's hop into the next one. I think we're all going to be looking at things. Well, first of all, tomorrow's Thanksgiving games are trash because they pushed back Pittsburgh.
Oh, I'm so pissed about that.
Yeah.
I want to see Lamar Jackson lose.
But before I let you rant, I'm gonna ask Lauren this: how do you feel about them pushing the game back? And do you feel any sympathy for Pittsburgh? Because this is the second time, because of another team's stupid actions, Pittsburgh is being partially punished. The first time was against the Titans.
I saw some of the Steelers players were upset.
Juju was pissed.
I think Chase Claypool tweeted something too. Don't quote me on that, but I think I saw that. My memory's been so bad like lately. I'm like, yeah, I think I saw that, but not 100% sure. But listen, I think the NFL did what it had to do because, if I'm the Steelers, we're undefeated, right? And I wouldn't want to risk, there being the virus in now the Steelers locker room as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it stinks that the game's pushed back and this already has affected them. But
the last time it was pushed back, the Steelers haven't had their bye week this year because their bye week was taken away. Yeah,
but that was basically their bye week. That when they had to
play it safe, as much as it's obviously not convenient or anything like that, and it's probably not good for. I don't know, when are they going to play? Oh, they're playing it Sunday. Okay, I forgot for a second. I was going to say, when are they going to play it? But yeah, it's not great, but I think you have to play it safe, and you just have to understand that the NFL is doing this for the safety of our team, and in the long run, this should help us. You know what I mean? You just want to be safe, I think, is the main thing, and you just want to make sure there isn't a spread, obviously, with anything regarding this virus, not even just the NFL.
So real quick, I just want to say, shout out to Tudo again. He says it means all blue. What a coincidence. Completely sold out Giants. He grew up in, I'm guessing that's Jersey and Queens, New York. That's pretty cool, man. I am in Queens right now. And Bobby, tonight is not a call-in. The call-in shows, I do them on Tuesday, so you missed it by just one day, bro. But KB, getting to the Steelers question, right?
Yeah.
How do you feel about the Steelers essentially getting punished for another team's actions again? And then, of course, your general thoughts on basically there's going to be some trash games tomorrow for Thanksgiving.
Well, I think the Steelers are kind of looking. I think they're a little bit acting like babies a little bit. I mean, they're all taking this should be. It's protocol. It is what it is right now. And
the only thing that's protecting them.
Right, exactly. It's protecting them, and I think they're just frustrated because it happens to them twice, and it hasn't happened to any other team more than once. So, and some teams that haven't happened to them at all. So they kind of feel like, oh, damn, not again. So I don't think they're really kind of complaining in that way. I think they're just letting out their frustrations that they have to get it postponed twice. And listen, they should think of it like this way. They have an undefeated record and they're facing a division rival. Think about it. If they get beat, at least it won't be in prime time. All right, at least it won't. The whole nation won't watch while you're having Thanksgiving. And if you're a Steelers fan, you're having Thanksgiving. You see the Steelers lose and they flip tables. You won't get any of that. All right, It'll be a Sunday afternoon, 1 o'clock game. It'll still be on NBC. So
that's gonna be weird.
Yeah. And here's the thing. I don't know why they shouldn't be complaining that much. You just got to move to Sunday. It's not like they're postponing it or for another week or they're canceling it. And, they can't do anything else about it because they already used up their bye week. What are they going to do? So you guys already had your bye week.
I do want to say, this is not even related to the Steelers thing. I know without them, we do have two games that look like they're going to be trash, but I would still rather than the NFL shift one up into primetime time. I would still want to watch a football game on Thanksgiving night. Come on, man. They couldn't at least even shift up whether it was Washington or the Detroit game up to 8 o'clock. And that's kind of, I don't know. I just wish they did that because I want to watch something while, I'm eating, or maybe by that time I'll already be finished eating.
So who is it again? It's Washington versus Detroit, and then
Dallas. Washington versus Dallas.
Washington versus Dallas, and
Detroit.
Detroit versus Houston. Versus Houston. Yeah, I got the two teams.
So let's actually hop into that because this Washington and Dallas game has a lot of implications. No matter who wins, they're coming out on top of the NFC East until Sunday, where if the Giants wins because the better division record, they will come out on top, right? Yeah. And this is assuming the Eagles lose, which I think we all expect the Eagles to lose. But
against who again? Who's the
Eagles are playing somebody godly. I'm gonna bring it up. Eagles,
Green Bay,
Seattle.
Seattle. All right.
Eagles, they should get stomped out. Hoping that happens. Who y'all rooting for? Who y'all rooting for?
I am going to root for the Washington football team.
And why?
So, I have to because I don't. Dallas is, like I've said this before, we went on rants before everybody convinced that I was a Cowboys fan. But listen, the Cowboys have such an easy schedule coming up. We need the game that they're supposed to lose in. They need to lose, because if they win any more games that they're supposed to win, it's going to be trouble because they have a pretty easy schedule coming up. So I need Dallas to lose this game. Washington needs to win this game. And I'm not confident in Washington moving forward. They have a pretty difficult schedule coming up, and they're freaking Washington, for crying out loud. They're allergic to the playoffs. So I'm gonna take Washington here to eat up that win and take it away from Dallas. And I think the Giants and Giants fans should have no worry moving forward.
And I also see.
Sorry. By the way, sorry, King Sean in the chat. I saw King Sean earlier.
Yeah, King Sean was in here.
King Sean's awesome. He's a cool guy, Washington fan. But I'm sorry. I want your team to win, and we're just using you. You're a tool this week. Okay, so
and by the way, I do see everybody in the chat saying that they are going to be rooting for Washington. So who are you rooting for on Thursday, Lauren?
Yeah, I think for the Giants, if you're a Giants fan, I guess, I think, or if you're any team in the NFC East besides the Cowboys, I think all the other teams in the NFC East would like to see Washington win just because of strength of schedule for the Cowboys and I guess how easy their schedule is going forward. So
yeah.
It's as simple as that, basically.
I can't see. I know one specific Giants YouTuber. He shall not be named, but he was saying he's going for the Cowboys to win for some odd reason because he wants to see a Week 17 match. No, I want it as easy as I can. I don't want a nail biter to the end because the Giants have let me down too many times before.
Need any more stress?
Exactly. I don't need no more stress.
I'm with you. I would want the easiest path to the playoffs. I will say, if a week 17
I want to wait till Week 17 to find out if
a Week 17 matchup does happen, though, that's going to be one of the best football games we've seen.
If it's between the Giants and the Cowboys, and it comes down to Week 17 and we're tied, I'm taking off of work and I'm going to stream this game. I don't care about this whole thing. Everybody thinks that every game I don't watch we win, which has been true this season.
It has been true this season.
Every game I had to work for, we win. So I don't care. I'm gonna watch it anyway. Yeah, screw you.
And then if we lose, you're gonna get a ton of hate mail, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna get death threats. It's good thing nobody dox me. All right.
So yeah, I think we're all in agreement. We got to root for Washington here. Now, KB said is because they're Washington is why he doesn't have faith in them completing the rest of their schedule. I'm gonna ask Lauren,
they're allergic to the playoffs.
Why do you think that Washington? So we already know Dallas has the easier schedule, but why do you think Washington will fail with the rest of their schedule?
Well, the thing is, I don't know that they will fail. Like, as we were talking about this, I was thinking in my head, like, we could be saying this now, and then it's Washington who actually ends up winning the division. Like, you never know. It's honestly, it's not early in the season, but it's like early on right now for the NFC East. Like, we don't know what's going to happen over the course of these next few weeks. So, but also, I think Washington should draft a quarterback. I think they're looking.
I was questioning that as well. I said this in one of my videos. I'm like, Washington. Literally every team in the East right now has a pretty good chance. Washington being one of them. And also I said in that video, shouldn't they be trying to get a quarterback? And then at the same time, I'm like, well, there's guys like me for the Giants who are like, no, don't tank. So obviously there's going to be guys for Washington saying no, don't tank. But it's like, I don't know. Should they not be trying to get a quarterback? Like, you think the reason they're playing so hard is because they do think that they have a real shot at this?
I don't know, but because they moved on from Dwayne Haskins so quickly, that makes me think like they want to draft a quarterback. Like, if you don't want to draft a quarterback, you don't move on from a second-year quarterback that quickly. Like, I don't care how bad they're playing. You just drafted this guy in the first round last year. When did he get benched? And he didn't get just benched. He got moved to
the non-active
roster, scout team.
Scout team, yeah.
Yeah, so like that.
He doesn't even suit up for games.
So honestly, I think they moved on from Dwayne Haskins too quickly. Yeah. Like, you drafted him in the top 20, and one season later, you're making him your third string quarterback. So that makes me think they're going to draft a quarterback wherever they end up drafting. Because, there are a few good quarterbacks in this draft outside of Trevor Lawrence. So,
I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. But I see Justin Fields in a Washington uniform. I see it. I don't know why.
Another Ohio State. They replaced their Ohio State quarterback.
Yeah, but this time with a mobile Ohio State quarterback.
I'm gonna ask you all this. So we all know we're rooting for Washington to win, but who do you think is actually gonna win this game?
You're gonna hate my answer.
All right, bro. So we don't need him to answer. We know he's a Cowboys fan, Lauren. Who's
everybody's roasting me in the comments right now. I don't know if I want to answer it.
I'm gonna let Lauren go first. Then, who do you think is actually gonna win this game and why?
Well, like, if KB's not gonna answer, then I guess I shouldn't either.
But you don't have the rep as a Cowboys fan.
Nobody roast Lauren, but we're just being realistic here.
Like, I'm just being real and trying to be as unbiased
Thank
as
you, Lauren. See, you guys, see, everybody, we're just being realistic, okay?
Because then when fans of other teams come to my channel, I don't want to hear that I'm biased. Like, I really do. I do all NFL videos. I do try to be as unbiased as humanly possible. I think sometimes I'm just like subconsciously biased.
Yeah.
Because I'm
the blue lens.
The Giants, but I try to be as unbiased as possible because no one wants to listen to me be like, yeah, the Giants are definitely not losing a game for the rest of this season. Like, who's gonna take me seriously?
I know some crazy people like that.
So then tell me, guys, why you got Washington losing to the Cowboys then?
I guess I'll start then. You guys are gonna hate me for this, but I'm saying Dallas's offense is so well schemed and has the right personnel that you could pretty much throw probably a freaking quarterback just able to throw the ball 15 yards downfield and they'll be successful. Okay, Andy Dalton. You've seen Andy Dalton versus Minnesota. Now, granted, Minnesota's pass defense is not all that great, but Andy Dalton had to do nothing but just to throw the ball to open crossers all game. CeeDee Lamb was butt naked open all day.
What do you think about this comment right here with Washington and their sacks?
Yes, I think Washington will get sacks, and that might be what helps them win games. But I'm sorry, Washington when it comes to sacks, sometimes you need the pass defense to do well and for things not to open up for the pass rush to get there. I think Dallas's receivers get open so quickly. Michael Gallup, CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, these guys are going to get open. Amari Cooper was open on the slants constantly. I mean, he had like 3 straight receptions on slants. CeeDee Lamb was open constantly on crossing routes. And then Michael Gallup was like open on these like curls and comeback routes. Like, that's literally what I've been seeing all the Minnesota game. I just needed to watch the Minnesota game, the broadcast film, to see that. And so they just have that type of offense that you don't need a good quarterback. Dak Prescott put them over the edge. We saw that early on this year. But Andy Dalton, you don't need Dak Prescott to run this offense. Andy Dalton will suffice. And we saw that.
That's a good point right here. It's going to be Washington's defense versus Dallas's offense. And you're going to count on the Andy Dalton that showed up in the second half of the Vikings game to show up here. So I guess that's what it comes down to. How much faith you got in Dalton. So I see somebody earlier said that he's underrated. He
is underrated. I mean, I've said it. How many times back when he was with the Bengals? How many times was like in the first couple of weeks of the season, before people could start getting hurt and they started playing inconsistent? I mean, Andy Dalton is like top of the league in passing yards, top of the league in touchdowns, MVP considerations, and then he just drops off. Hopefully, he just drops off. Hopefully that's the case. But he's only started 1 game this season. He came in that. No, he started 2 games this season. This is going to be his 3rd game starting. He might still be on fire. All right. So we'll see what happens. But
what do you think, Lauren, on the Dalton thing?
Like, if he's not going to play well eventually?
Yeah. Which Dalton are we going to get? And is he underrated?
Well, he's not underrated. I don't want to say he's underrated, but he's a very good backup, obviously. He's one of the best backups in the league. But I say they will play well in this game on Thursday. I feel like they have momentum from the Vikings game, and they just look like I'm losing my wording. They just look like a better football team. Like, the way they play just looks better because they looked bad in earlier weeks this season. They just look like they're a totally different team.
So then what about, we got to consider the pressure here. Somebody brought this comment up, and I'm not finding it here right now. One of the reasons that Dallas was able to come back, other than Minnesota choking, is that Minnesota has somebody said the 2019 Giants pass rush. Minnesota ain't really got a pass rush right now.
Yeah, they don't.
It's the complete flip for Washington. So, and KB even said, yeah, I expect Washington to get them sacks. So with the sacks and pressure, how does that not tell you a little bit, hey, man, maybe this offensive performance is going to go down?
Okay, but look at the same situation here. We just played Washington with a weak offensive line, and although Daniel Jones was sacked a lot, we still were able to move the football downfield because of our receivers. How many? Golden Tate made a crazy reception. Sterling Shepard did. Darius Slayton went off in the second half. I mean, things like this happen. Even with good pass defenses and good pass rushers. We just did it. Why do people think that Washington's just automatically going to lock up Dallas? We just did it to them with the same defense that they've had. I mean, we just played them. So
they also did almost come back on us.
Exactly. They almost came back. And, who knows? Maybe Dallas is able to get a better lead than we did. Who knows? But because Dallas does have a better offense than we do. That's just what it is.
Now, this question came up earlier. I think it was by Juan. He said, answer objectively, who's the better receiver right now, Terry McLaurin or Darius Slayton? Yeah, I'm gonna go Terry. Right now it's Terry. So the whole panel says Terry. Darius Slayton has to do a little bit more before Terry McLaurin is doing some record-breaking stuff right now, I think, as a second-year receiver.
He's doing well. Yeah, he's doing well.
And with all the quarterbacks that have thrown to him in his 2 seasons.
Right. And here's one thing I will say. Terry McLaurin is better. That's not even a conversation. But Darius Slayton, if he gets consistent, because I'm starting to see a little bit of his Auburn days show up, but if he gets consistent, starts playing like he did in his rookie season all throughout a season, I think he would be better than Terry McLaurin. But you have to give credit to Terry McLaurin. He had 115 yards against us. That doesn't happen against us this year. We don't allow a lot of yards to receivers. He had 115 yards against us when we won. So the last time.
The good thing here by Vinny G-Man. How many times? Not only is Washington going to get sacks, but how many times is Zeke going to fumble?
I'll say at least once.
Zeke has a big fumbling problem.
I will say at least once. Chase Young has been killing it this year. I think he has a couple of forced fumbles as well.
He had one last week.
Just on Joe Burrow, right? Joe Burrow. So, Chase Young is great. Jonathan Allen. Oh my God! By the way, watching film on the Washington Giants game, Daron Payne and Jonathan Allen are nasty, man. Oh my God. I hope they destroy Dallas's line, man. If they do that, and it's over for Dalton if they played the way they played against the Giants.
Lauren, how many fumbles is Zeke gonna have? And then in general, what do you think about Zeke and his fumbling problem this year?
Yeah, so funny thing. No, this is gonna be annoying. I don't want to be like one of those people like, well, my fantasy team, but funny story. I did a video on top 10 running backs or whatever before the season. And I was like, yeah, Zeke has never really had that bad of a season. And then I drafted him in fantasy. I'm like, this is going to be the year. The bad year.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to jinx myself. The fumbling has been an issue this year. I mean, that primetime game versus, what was it, the Cardinals? When he had 2 fumbles, basically back to back. Was it that game? I think it might be better now. He didn't fumble versus the Vikings, right?
I can't remember, to be honest with you.
No,
did he?
No, I don't think he fumbled against Vikings. No.
But we'll see what happens versus Washington because they obviously have that great defensive line. So maybe once, but I'm honestly not Zeke is definitely going to fumble because I think it has.
I'm saying it. I'm throwing it out there.
Okay,
I think Zeke fumbles. I think Zeke fumbles here.
Listen, I have this pulled up, and I'm looking at the YouTube chat. I got the StreamYard chat right now. Who says this? Oh, it's my imposter account says they need to knock Dalton out again because I think it was Washington that knocked Dalton out.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. No injuries. You don't want that.
Joe DePlaza says, "You're the hub. What's popping?" Question. Okay, and I don't want to explore this because this is a sad one. Say we do happen to lose to the Bengals. Do we still hold out hope for the playoffs?
No, it's over. It's over. I'm
definitely going to be in that panic mode after I was versus the 49ers. I'm going to be like, what is this? What is happening?
if we lose to the Bengals with Brennan Allen starting at quarterback, what the hell makes you think we're going to beat Seattle, Arizona?
And possibly their third-string running back.
Right, and their third-string running back, Samaje Perine, with no Carlos Dunlap. How the hell are we supposed to beat Seattle? How the hell are we supposed to beat Arizona? How the hell are we supposed to beat Cleveland? Get the hell out of here, man. We got to face Baltimore, too? Come on, man.
Listen, if just some goes completely wrong and we somehow, some way lose to the Bengals, yeah, I'm closing up shop for the season.
Closing up shop, yeah.
I'm not.
I'm afraid.
Listen. Knock on wood, right? Knock on wood. KB's wearing red, so he better touch red. I don't know if he got wood around him to knock, but listen, if we somehow lose to the Bengals, playoff hopes, y'all need to close that bet. Y'all need to close that immediately. Not just because the mathematical situation, like we need to win this for the math part of it in terms of calculating our playoff chances, but also exactly what KB just said. If we can't beat the Bengals with the players that they're putting out there, I don't got faith in us beating anybody else for the rest of the season.
Edward Chan says, here's the thing. And this is a conversation that people are going to talk about, and I know what's going to happen if we lose to the Bengals. We're going to get everybody to say tank. There's no point. We already three wins in. Everybody just tank. Hub headband.
I don't have a headband.
We're not as cool as Lauren. We'll let her be the cool one and wear the headband. I don't have a headband. I'd rather show off the hair.
Shout out to Tony B. I think he's also another Cowboys fan in here.
Daniel Jones, but no, I believe is he a Cowboys fan? I believe he's a Giants fan.
Tony B.
Yeah,
I might be wrong. For some reason, I'm remembering
maybe because the star.
Maybe it's because of the star, man. Listen, Braden says, Hub, Dalton is the absolute perfect definition of average. He can come in and win you a game and then leave. I'm picking Washington. So the chat seems split.
Hot take. Xavier McKinney will get his first in his first game. Listen, we don't even know if he's gonna play yet, Yuri. We don't even know if he's gonna play yet.
For some reason, I'm not seeing that here.
If he does play, Yuri, if he does play, we may. I mean, I think he'll have himself a decent game. Just because they had no film on him, we don't even know what they're gonna do with him. They may just say, "Hey, just freaking roam. Just do what you do something. We don't know where to put you at yet." So who knows? And first of all, he might be getting limited snaps. So let's not say that he's gonna be out there like Jabril Peppers is. So yeah, he'll be getting limited snaps.
Mm-hmm. So I got something else here real quick, right? We already explored that. What are the chances? This is going to sound crazy. What are the chances that Philly pulls out a win against Seattle? What are you doing if Philly?
Let me tell you. Let
Lauren go first on this one.
Okay.
And what are you doing if somehow, some way, Eagles find a way to pull out a win against Seattle?
Well, if the Eagles beat Seattle and the Giants lose to Cincinnati.
Well, I didn't say that, but I'm just saying.
Sad. I'm very sad. I'm sad and.
Oh, you're out of camera frame.
Sorry, I'll be so sad. But if the Giants beat Cincinnati and Philly beats the Seahawks, okay, you gotta just keep playing. Like, what are you gonna do? Okay, they pulled off an upset. Cool. Maybe the Giants go pull off an upset versus the Seahawks. So. I mean, I wouldn't be too concerned if Philly does end up beating Seattle because maybe the Giants end up beating Seattle. We don't know. So I'd only be very concerned if the Giants lose to Cincinnati. Either way, if the Giants lose to Cincinnati, I will be very sad.
But are you taking the Eagles seriously again if they somehow beat Seattle?
Yeah.
They have the
I would.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
Philly, I always think about this too, and I'm glad that you asked this question, Hub. Because Philly does this.
Yeah. Philly finds a way.
They beat teams that you would. I remember a couple years ago they beat Green Bay. I remember a couple years ago they beat New England at New England. All right, it happens. Philly they'll suck all season and they'll beat a really good team on their schedule. And I wish the Giants would do that, but Philly does it just about once every year. And just a perfect mix for this, Seattle loves losing to NFC East opponents that they're supposed to beat. I remember back in 2014, Tony Romo going to Seattle, and everybody thought, oh, Seattle is going to whoop them, and, they're going to, the 12th man. No, the Cowboys destroyed the Seahawks over there, and it happened to Philly when The Seahawks, I believe it was in the same year, or maybe the year prior or the year after that. I don't know.
Listen, it's just that the Seahawks always beat the Giants, though. I think in 2014.
Oh yeah, they dominate us. They dominated us. I mean, that back in 2013 or 2014, it was 2013. Eli Manning had 5 interceptions against Seattle, but that was with the Legion of Boom there. But
they got the Legion of Boom now.
Seattle has lost to Philly when Seattle was playing great and Philly was playing like trash before. It's happened before a couple years ago as well. So this is just a bad news Bears right now, man. This is just not looking good. We're not looking good. I'm a little worried about this a little bit, that this is a trap game.
Because I didn't even reference Cincinnati again, but you guys make a good point. If that combination happens, it's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
There's no hope at that. There's no hope at that.
It's Seattle, like we just got this bye week for nothing. Yeah. We literally just like faked ourselves out. We literally did all this like
congratulations. You played yourself.
Exactly.
Then we'll watch all these live streams back and all these videos and be like, so
I'm gonna say Hub, delete it. Delete it all.
Delete it all.
Delete it all.
This has been the most successful time for my live streams. Delete it all, bro. But yeah, if Seattle somehow loses to the Eagles, man, I'm having flashbacks to where the Eagles in the past couple of years just find a way to win the division. They just, even when they weren't supposed to win the division last year, they found a way to win it. You know what I'm saying? They just find a way to win the NFC East year in, year out. I got a comment here by Tony B. He says, hot take, Gallman will score one of Daniel Jones' 3 touchdown throws, and I'm a Giants fan for life. All right, thank you, bro.
Yeah.
Avatar says American Alpha, LOL, never rooting for Dallas. Thank you for clarifying. So let's talk about Wayne Gallman, because he's going to have to be a big part of this game. What Wayne Gallman got to do? Does you thinking he's going to get his 100-yard rushing game this time?
I think he has a very, very good shot at doing that. You know, they don't have a fantastic defense. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong. Looking at their depth chart right now.
I won't say though.
They do not have. Well, Geno Atkins is not starting, and I remember that's one of the reasons why Carlos Dunlap wanted to leave, is because the reason why the Cincinnati Bengals suck is not only because they have a bad roster, but any veteran players that are good, they're still benching them anyway for the younger players. I could see why Cincinnati wants to do that, but that's not a good. You know, you think about Joe Judge did that. Joe Judge did it for Lorenzo Carter and O'Shane Jimenez. They basically are starters, but they were still splitting reps. Okay, Geno Atkins does not start. He barely plays. So, we should have a fairly decent day. And Mike Daniels is starting over Geno Atkins, for crying out loud. He's a veteran defensive tackle. So, I believe we should have a good rushing day, and I just hope Wayne Gallman gets the bulk of the carries. I know Laura loves Alfred Morris. I like Alfred Morris as well, but I want to see Wayne Gallman get that 100 mark, man. I want to see him get to 100. I want to see him catch some passes. Just like what Tony B said, maybe one of those touchdowns are going to be for a receiving touchdown for Wayne Gallman. I think Wayne Gallman is going to have a really good, probably the best game. This is probably a hot take. I think Wayne Gallman has the best game this season in this game.
Well, like I said earlier, it shouldn't be a hot take because that's what should happen.
It shouldn't be a hot take, but it's Wayne Gallman. I know the whole Wayne train thing that's happening right now, but it's still Wayne Gallman, So, yeah.
Braden Bigheart says, would you be okay in the fact that next year when Saquon is back, would you want to sit him 2 to 4 weeks so we make sure he's fully healed? If he's fully healed, he's fully. I don't know. That depends on. I can't even speak on that.
Like the doctor.
Yeah, the doctor would decide that.
It won't be up to Joe Judge, really. Like the doctor will say. Like the doctor's obviously the expert there.
The medical staff would be like, "Oh, he's not clear."
110% and good. They're not going to rush him back.
Exactly.
Right.
And just because it's been coming up since we just mentioned Saquon, a lot of people been talking about potentially trading Saquon Barkley. Lauren, where do you stand with that right now? I think it's a bit too early. I think you got to wait for the dude to come back and see what he looks like.
Don't trade Saquon.
Screw you, Drew Pierce. I don't know if you guys see the the comment. Screw that, Drew Pierce.
Your stance on Saquon right now, bro?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Like we talked about it before on a live stream before. I think people forget how good Saquon Barkley really is. Yeah. I think we haven't seen it in a while, especially we barely saw it this year. He had like 1 or 2 good runs this year before he got hurt. And I think people are thinking that Saquon will never be the same again. And they just forget about how good Saquon was last year. So listen, I love Saquon and I do not want him to be traded. I think he will fit perfectly in this offense. And here's one thing. A lot of people keep getting emotional about Wayne Gallman, how well he's playing now. This doesn't happen just for Giants fans, so I don't want anybody to take this personal. But this happens around the NFL. You know, a backup player or a guy that doesn't get a lot of opportunities starts playing well, and then all of a sudden they're saying, oh, he's got to be a starter now. You know, replace him, get rid of the starter now. You know, all this other stuff. And, you know, the same thing happened. I believe that's how Bobby Hart got his start. No, that's how Chad Wheeler got his start. And everybody's like, oh, look, Chad Wheeler plays well and in his limited time of playing. Let's make him a starter. And we all know how that turned out. Okay, so Wayne Gallman, I think, is a good backup running back. He's there filling in for Saquon Barkley, and he's doing a hell of a job at it. Just think about what it would be like if Saquon Barkley and Wayne Gallman were there. The new and developed Wayne Gallman was there. Okay, don't you guys want that? Or do you guys right?
It's what I said in last week's stream, and Kidblue brought it up. People have very short-term memory when they forget just who Saquon is.
Yeah, and hold on. Before you continue, real quick, what are you trading Saquon for? He's coming off a torn ACL, and he's a running back. They don't have good market value as it is, and he's going to be coming up on a contract year soon where he's going to be asking for $20 million for a running back. What are you going to get for Saquon Barkley? You're not going to get much.
This is trading him at his loan. I think I highlighted a comment that said that as well. Jacob here says Saquon will never be the same, even though he has potential. This is where I disagree with you, because I don't need to. I go back to AP because AP is the greatest ACL comeback story at the running back position, and AP and Saquon are both genetic, just freaks in nature. They're both guys who can do it. I just need to go back to Dalvin Cook. Dalvin Cook came back from the ACL, and he's better than he was before his ACL. He's one of the best running backs in the league right now. Yeah, that's all I need to do.
But I have a question, Jacob. What do you mean Saquon never been the same? What are you talking about? You talking about after the 3 games he missed last season where he still finished with 1,000 yards? Is that the game you're talking about? Where in Detroit, right?
He still finished with 2,000 scrimmage yards as well.
Exactly. So what are you talking about? He never been the same before. What? He didn't run for 2,000 yards after injury. He missed 3 games for crying out loud. He had 2 bad games after injury because they rushed him back. Remember, he was coming off a high ankle sprain and missed 3 games. That's it. And he came back too early, had 2 terrible games, one against Detroit, one against the Jets, but he still had amazing games after that throughout the season and still finished with 1,000 yards. Listen, he still finished with 1,000 yards by missing 3 games and
having a 1-yard game against the Jets.
With 14 rush, he averaged 4.3 yards per carry at the end of the season. But and part of that was from averaging like negative yards throughout the game. I think he averaged like 0.14 yards because he had like 14 rushes for 1 yard one game, right? So listen, and Saquon Barkley, he's never been the same. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense.
People brought this up already. Don't forget about Alfred Morris. A lot of people saying Morris might be the one having the big game, and that is true. Let's not forget about him. Morris and Gallman's been the one getting the highlight, I guess, from everybody. But Morris has been like right behind him in terms of total yardage, what he's finishing with. And yeah, ever since me and KB started roasting him, calling him old man Morris, calling him slow, that he has one expression Morris. He's been running hard.
His first game, he was running like I don't even care right now. Like he looked like he could have had a joint in his mouth. Just, I don't even care right now. You know what I'm saying? But that was the game against Dallas, right? Where he had no facial expression, like they were showing him in slow-mo.
It was Buccaneers, I think, was his first game.
The Buccaneers game? Say
it was either Eagles or Buccaneers.
Okay, but either way, he was just running like that's it. That was hilarious. But yeah, he's playing hard right now.
Sorry, have you guys seen that show on Amazon, All or Nothing?
I've seen it before. Yeah, what's up?
Have you seen the Cowboys season when Alfred Morris was on the Cowboys?
No. I've only seen the Panthers one.
He has this old car, like during that season, like I guess like a 1998 or something, and like that's like his baby, like that's his favorite car, and like it wasn't working, so he's like, I have to get it, like take it to the shop to get it fixed. Like, just want to get rid of it. Like it's a really like funny.
Did not know Alfred Morris was a motorhead, or maybe he just really loves that car.
No, he's such like. You should honestly watch that season if you want to learn more, I guess, a little bit more about Alfred Morris, because he seems like just a cool dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And I love watching those things like All or Nothing or Hard Knocks or stuff like that. Some people hate it, but I love it. I don't know why.
I love it.
Yeah.
They need to make All or Nothing, and this is kind of a debate in like the NFL like show watching community, which one is better. Like All or Nothing, I like it because it follows them throughout the entire season.
Yeah,
but it's like
Hard Knocks preseason.
The way that Hard Knocks presents itself is better. I think it's just the way they edit it. The tone of Hard Knocks is always better.
Yeah, people, seeing broken hearts, when it's time for cuts and stuff like that.
Yeah. And just like the sound bites that they get in Hard Knocks are better too.
There's a good comment here by your doppelganger. He said, look at how much games Christian McCaffrey missed, and he also had a high ankle sprain. And look, he's been out like most of the season, but Saquon Barkley last year missed 3 games. All right, so you can't tell me that he hasn't been the same because he hasn't changed. Okay, He hasn't changed. He's just coming back from injury. That's it. All right. So, yeah.
So real quick, before I shift to the next topic, I think this is a good time for me to once again, guys, announce the new merch because I got a good amount of people in here. You got the Wayne Train merch. KB said he liked this one. This is the Wayne Train merch.
I gotta get me that. That is cool.
Oh, that design is
original,
so good.
Right? Original design drawn by me and my boy Farhan. Farhan does a lot of the graphic stuff for my channel. You got it in the hoodie, the shirt,
such a nice graphic,
the tank top, the long sleeve, and all different colors. I was telling KB, I think the best color, especially with the hoodie, is either the navy or this gray. It just pops
right
on those two right there.
I'm down in Florida, so the odds of me getting a sweater is probably not likely. But I'm
tank top, bro. Tank top.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me a t-shirt or a long sleeve for sure. Man.
Exactly. And then the second one is a Christmas exclusive. Sack the Halls with Hector Lawrence. He got the beard and the hat.
Love it.
These designs are amazing.
I know they're good.
And then also in many different colors. This one, I think, is this the crew neck or is it the long sleeve? It's 1 on 2. I think this might be the crew neck. Yeah, that's the crew neck. Got the hoodie and you got the shirts as well. Listen, guys. Go check it out, especially the Sacks the Halls. Once again, that's going away after by January 1st. It's gonna be gone. That's the limited time one.
Put a little promo in the promo code for you.
A promo code? Maybe I'll put promo code
for a second. I don't know if you can make them specific. Like, can you make them specific to the product?
I think you can, yeah.
Since it is a holiday one, but yeah, that's something behind the scenes talk about. But yeah, man, those. Yeah, everybody's like Sack the Halls is litty.
See now, Drew Ratty, it is because I'm not using any type of proprietary logos. I'm not using a Giants logo in there. I don't have the Nike logo in there. I don't have the NFL logo in there. That's why I had to go and cartoonize them. I had to go and redraw them. I'm not using any images.
That's a smart loophole too.
I'm not using any images that a photographer took that I would need to ask them permission to put on a search because it's drawn. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it is. Just want to put that out there.
Yeah, Kush is giving me the hookups, man.
Yeah, I got some in the works for KB.
Yeah.
As well.
I might have to talk to you too.
Yeah, man, you gonna make a business out of this, huh?
Listen, it's me and my guy.
Skills aren't great.
You guys could honestly skip me if you want to. I'm the middleman and go directly to Farhan. But like I said, like I'm the creative mind and he's the one that like gets it done, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So the next topic I wanted to bring up real quick, I literally left my mind as I was showing that. Oh yeah, here it is. Kevin Zeitler. Kevin Zeitler's been out for what, 2 weeks now? 2-3 weeks? He might be cleared to come back this week against the Bengals. How you think he's gonna fit back in? I mean, you think we're still gonna be rotating players like Joe Judge has said we are? And kind of a bold question, do we need Kevin Zeitler back?
Kevin Zeitler is consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's been very consistent. He's just like a solid offensive lineman, and I think they're just going to continue the rotation. I don't think they're going to do anything crazy. I think Hernandez is going to start again. I know he didn't start last game. I believe he came in because of Zeitler's injury, but I think they're just going to continue with this rotation. So.
Yeah, now that Colombo is out of the picture, they're definitely gonna do the rotations how they want to do it. But as far as Zeitler goes, just looking on film from what I've been doing, especially looking at Wayne Gallman film. If you guys haven't already, the Wayne Gallman film review is up, and a lot of people love it. So make sure you guys tune into that one. But looking at Wayne Gallman on film, Kevin Zeitler has been clearly the best offensive lineman for the Giants, and that's like not even close. So I want Kevin Zeitler back. And Shane Lemieux, although his run blocking is very good, his pass blocking is so bad. Like, I didn't think it was that bad. It's bad. So I'd rather see Will Hernandez back. But yeah, I want Kevin Zeitler to be back in the lineup.
So is it necessary, though? Like you said, Shane Lemieux's pass blocking has been bad, but the left side, weirdly enough, maybe you should do your next film review on that. Why has the left side improved even though Shane Lemieux was worse over there?
Right.
Like, you got any preliminary thoughts to that?
My guess, because I haven't focused on the offensive line because I've been doing a lot of running for just like Wayne Gallman. So I've been watching more of him. And then, of course, I have to watch the offensive line, too, because they're the one opening up the holes. But I definitely should do more watching of the offensive, that left side. But one thing I've seen is that Andrew Thomas is just playing better. Andrew Thomas I don't know where it is, Hub, but you would love it. He did another one of those freaking swipes and pushes, but it was on a Wayne Gallman run play, so it wouldn't get any attention. But oh my God, I think he did it into Washington. He did it to one unlucky pass rush. It wasn't Chase Young, but he did it again. He freaking threw him out the play, almost threw him into Daniel Jones. But yeah, is Kidblue a real Giants? Because I've never seen a Giants, but it's so realistic.
I mean,
Drew Pierce, aren't you a Cowboys fan? I don't think we should be talking about realistic here.
There's some pretty realistic
I appreciate the love. I appreciate the love, Pierce, but come on. You skip Bayless as your leader, all right?
MH, if you're asking a mug, I do have Hub mugs. I do have Hub mugs.
And by the way, guys, just a shameless plug too. I do have Kidblue mugs too. So make sure you guys grab yourself a Kid. This is the only, sadly, it's the only design I've got out there. But I've seen people have sent me pictures of the sweatshirt. People love the sweatshirt with this logo on there. So copy one of those. Also,
clean logo.
Yeah, clean logo. And shout out to my guy Lestat Walton for hooking me up with this. He's a guy in the chat that you guys should go to for any graphic design stuff as well. But yeah, quick shameless plug there. Yeah.
Hey, no problem.
At all.
Lauren, you have a pretty clean logo as well. You could slap down on a couple stuff.
Yeah. Put on a pink shirt with a pink background.
I'm looking to that's why I think I'll get in touch with either of both you guys say graphic designers, right? Because I'm looking to hire a graphic designer.
Yeah, man.
Because I need not professional, but someone who's good at it. You know what I mean?
We can get a little group going. We can get a little.
I'd rather go with someone you guys know. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So we talked about McKinney coming back, and I kind of threw him to the side earlier. Do you have any expectations for the other X-Man and Ximines coming back?
Talking me?
Either one of you could start.
Ximines, listen, I already said this already. I really don't care. Ximines, I'm not going to do the whole Lorenzo Carter. Although Lorenzo Carter has been playing well before he got hurt, I don't want to go through the same thing again where I just completely have my hopes up for this kid and he just does nothing. Ximines has been doing nothing that whole season before he got hurt, unlike Carter. Then again, it is his second year in the league, and Carter took 3 years to get him going. But if he comes back, we're already having a good pass rush. It's different with other guys like Xavier McKinney, right? Xavier McKinney is clearly going to be an upgrade to our defensive backs, and it's going to allow more defensive backs to be put on the field. When it comes to O'Shane, the rotation to me seems fine already. We've got Jabal Sheard in there. What's his name? Trent Harris. We've got Kyler Fackrell out there. We're getting a good rotation of guys. We have a good pass rush from the interior. I don't know what O'Shane is really going to do to improve the pass rush. Maybe just keep the guys more fresh with a better rotation because now we have an extra body to throw out there.
And also, why do you think Kyler Fackrell has really kind of calmed down since his big Cowboys game? You really haven't heard or seen that much of him.
You know why? I think it's because now he's the best pass rusher on the team, and they're focusing on him, and that's what they're probably doing. They're probably focusing all their saying, hey, we need to stop this edge rusher, and he's just not able to overcome that. He's not that great. Yeah, he'll be in the same situation with Darius Slayton, right? If you put him at a number 1 spot, he won't do as well because he's getting all the attention. You put him at a number 2 spot, he's not getting as much attention, and he balls out. Same thing with Kyler Fackrell.
So, Lauren, on both things, with the Ximines, how you feeling about him coming back? Any expectations? And then Fackrell.
Well, I feel honestly, I don't have any expectations, but that's not necessarily a bad thing that I don't have expectations. It's just okay, the defense has been playing well. Great. A young player is now healthy and back on the team and can contribute now, and let's see what he can do. Like, I don't have any expectations, and that's fine. Like, I'm excited to watch him play, and hopefully he balls out. And it's okay. That's fine. Year 3.
And then Fackrell, you think it's what KB said as to why Fackrell has sort of quieted down since that Week 5 game against Dallas?
I agree with that. I think he had a good game versus Washington, didn't he? Or am I remembering incorrectly? The first
Washington game. The first game, I guess. I think so.
Yeah, but that was when we still had Marcus Golden and stuff like that, I think.
But yeah, like, as you said, he's kind of being treated as the number 1 guy now. So that's what I think. Because it was weird, right? Last season he had like 1 sack or something, and the season before he had like 10 sacks or something.
Well, he was replaced by the Smith brothers last season. He was definitely he got into that backup role. And it's crazy. I mean, this just goes to show how great of a job Graham's doing, and with the scheme change and everything. Right now, we're rocking basically the same guys or same level of talent with the pass rushers. That's both inside and outside that we were last year, but we're doing way better this year than we were last year. It's like night and day.
Sayonara, James Betcher. I don't even know where he is right now.
Like, at least Pat Shurmur got a job. I don't know where James Betcher is.
A good freaking riddance. James Betcher was
where is he in Cleveland?
He got a job?
No, Shurmur. Where's Shurmur?
Oh, he's in
the Broncos.
Broncos. Okay.
He's offense coordinator in Denver.
With orange colors. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I don't know why I thought it was.
That's how I think of things sometimes. I'm like, oh, is he with which red team is he with? You know, that's how I always think of things. Yeah.
And what you call it? Just an interesting fact I saw today. Floating around on Twitter. Shurmur as the OC with the Broncos has Drew Lock with the second highest attempts for down the field throws. Like, he throws the ball a lot down the field. And how do you guys feel about that with DJ? Should DJ be chucking the ball down the field more?
I think the Giants try. Listen, when I hate to say this all the time, but like watching on film, you see like Darius Slayton always streaking behind the defense. Like, they have the routes for, it's all about Daniel Jones at the end of the day. Remember, what Daniel Jones decides to do is not all based on Jason Garrett. There's different route combinations out there. Each one could have, each play could have a variety of different routes out there. There's always usually a deep route. There's always a check down. There's always an intermediate. And it all depends on what Daniel Jones decides to really do. Now, of course, there is the first read, the second read, and whatever. But Daniel Jones just isn't hitting the deep ball. He just doesn't have time. Like that. So I feel like Jason Garrett has it out there. I've seen so many times where Darius Slayton is just running and he's open, but Daniel Jones isn't seeing him. So I'm sure Jason Garrett wants Daniel Jones to go there. I don't think Jason Garrett should be blamed for that. I mean, it's there. It's just Daniel Jones is not hitting it. Yeah, because he doesn't have time. It's a mixture of things. He doesn't have time.
Lauren.
Yeah. So I've kind of talked about this a little bit before. And obviously, these short passes have been working, these quick short passes.
It's like West Coast. It's like a West Coast offense now.
Yeah, it's like boom, boom, boom. Quick short passes, they're working. They're winning. But my question is, how long will that work for? How long are you just going to be able to run these quick short passes? And I know the Buccaneers game was really bad for the deep ball and Daniel Jones.
Which was still an outlier because despite that Buccaneers game, he's still rated as one of the best deep ball throwers in the NFL.
Yeah.
Like, his rookie year, I felt he really could throw the deep ball, hence the name Danny Dimes. And, we saw him have 2 pretty nice deep balls in the last game to Sterling Shepard and Golden Tate.
And Darius Slayton, the one a little bit later.
Yeah, and Darius Slayton. And I'm like, okay. Personally, I love to watch quarterbacks that are the deep ball. So I'm just like, let's try it a little more. I understand what you're saying. He doesn't have time.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking about that first game versus Steelers. They did the play action and he threw the ball to Darius Slayton for the touchdown.
Yeah, they need to do more of those.
More play action, please, because the run game is working. Wayne Gallman just running north and south, getting those yards. Okay, just a little more play action maybe, and you have to hit those plays though when you do run the play action. Like, you got to hit those throws.
Right.
So, I mean, in situations like that, he will have time, But I say try to drop a few more plays where he will have time to throw the deep ball and see what happens.
Agreed.
So unless you guys got any more Giants questions, we're about to close it out here. Almost coming in at 11. I got a couple general NFL questions. But first, any of you two got any more Giants questions?
No, not really.
Nah.
What do they say? Chicks dig the long ball. I saw Aaron Rodgers had someone asked him something about the long ball today, like one of the reporters. I just saw this tweet actually right before I came on here. And he's like, "Oh, thank you for asking that. I always wanted to say chicks dig the long ball." Like they're asking, like, how come your long ball is working or whatever.
Oh my god.
Aaron Rodgers, the master of the long ball, man. All right, so the general NFL question, right? How y'all feel about the Titans upsetting the Ravens this past week?
I thought it would happen.
Yeah, I thought there was a chance. Baltimore was playing like crap lately. And their defense. Listen, I've always said this. Lamar Jackson, when he's trailing in games, cannot come back. That's why he is not going to last in the NFL, and he's not a good passer. So, he's going to have to go through his trial and tribulations like Michael Vick did. Michael Vick wasn't a good passer. He had to learn how to be a good passer with Philly. So who knows? Lamar Jackson, may develop that, but I don't see it happening. But Baltimore sucks. Screw Baltimore.
And then this could technically be considered an upset.
Because then we're going to lose to Baltimore. We can't say Baltimore sucks.
Oh, yeah. Baltimore, you're great. And we were totally not expecting to beat you.
Lauren, let me get you first on this one.
Great Baltimore.
The Texans beating the Patriots, Lauren.
I don't know. The Patriots, I think a quarterback people have been talking about them possibly ending up with is Zach Wilson. I watched one BYU game this year, and I've just kept that in the back of my head. I saw a mock draft that had Zach Wilson going to the Patriots, and he's very talented. He's a quarterback who I think could end up with Washington or the Patriots. I don't know. It doesn't seem like Cam will resign with the Patriots right now. It seems like the Patriots might draft a new quarterback. I don't know, but just the Patriots, it seems like it's always going to work out. So if they lose a bunch of games and they draft a quarterback, watch out.
Yeah, and you see Cam Newton's stats, they're so lopsided. It's so weird. He has 4 touchdowns, but 9 rushing touchdowns. I'm like, oh my God, talk about a running back.
What about the Panthers absolutely shutting out the Detroit Lions 20-0?
That was shocking. That was shocking because Carolina's defense sucks.
I wanted to pick the Panthers to win, during my pregame stream when I was just going through the games, and people were like, Teddy's not starting. But the Panthers are low-key a good team this year. For where they are in their rebuild, they're low-key a good team, and I think they're ahead of schedule.
They got the XFL MVP, PJ Walker.
Yeah, he played pretty well. I know he had, 2 interceptions?
Yeah, but he had a lot of yards.
He had some nice throws. He had some nice throws.
Yeah,
and I think that's a cool story too, though.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. So
story. You can't. You have to root for him.
I know we were all watching, or at least I think we were all watching the Rams Buccaneers game last night. People asked me my stream before I went off. I said the Rams are gonna win. Thank God they won. That was a nail biter. Hey yo, first off, shout out to I think his name is Damian Williams, cornerback for the Rams.
Oh,
he's amazing.
Yeah.
Darius Williams.
Darius Williams. I thought you meant
Yeah, no, he's a great cornerback for the Rams. Secondly, there's 3 takeaways. Darius Williams is great.
He had the interception on Daniel Jones.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Secondly, Jared Goff, despite having I think 2 interceptions, in my opinion, looked great. He looked great.
He threw the ball. He threw the ball so beautifully. His release was perfect, and it was a perfect spiral. And Daniel Jones is getting there, man. Just saying that.
What did you think about Jared Goff, Lauren?
Watching that game, I was like, if Daniel Jones can turn into a Jared Goff,
quarterback, right? That's all we need, a Jared Goff.
Just ignore that, and act like he's so bad.
No, Jared Goff is good.
He's good.
Yeah.
He's good. He was clutch last night.
A good young quarterback.
Yeah. No, I feel like people just. I think he slips people's mind for some reason. Even when I think about it, I'm like, I forget that he's young for some reason. I don't know.
People forget he was the first overall pick in that draft.
And to be honest with you,
and he's looking like the best quarterback.
Yeah, I was gonna say, to be honest with you, no matter who you argue between Goff, Wentz, and Dak, those are the 4 big guys. I mean, the three big guys from that draft, no matter who you argue who's the best, Goff has by far had the most success.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I know Wentz technically has a ring.
Yeah.
He didn't do that. Goff took his team to the Super Bowl. Yeah. And last night against the Rams team that shut out his running game, he was doing all the work offensively. He looked great. And
he had to throw the ball over 50 times. So,
yeah. When I said that I saw KB, you had a reaction. I'm just curious what you think too, Hub. Like, what if Daniel Jones develops into like a Jared Goff type quarterback? Like, I think that could happen.
I would be okay. And you know what's crazy? Yeah. I would be okay with that. Everybody wants Daniel Jones to be like, I don't know, like I'm freaking Drew Brees or, someone crazy, right? If he's not Drew Brees, if he's not the next Peyton Manning, then I don't want him,
Here's my thing on
Patrick Mahomes,
I agree with like maybe half of it. If Daniel Jones can turn into Jared Goff with the way he throws the ball, 100% I'm on board. Yeah. Not mentally though, because Goff does rely on Sean McVay. Let's not forget that. Not mentally. Let DJ stay DJ mentally.
But as far as the pocket presence, the his release and everything, like Jared Goff threw the ball so beautifully, like everything was on point. His accuracy was awesome. That game. I mean, Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods are some fast guys, and you got to be accurate to hit them in stride. So,
and then the third takeaway, I think you guys probably saw this coming. Brady looked trash.
I put it on Twitter. I was like, Brady, don't at me, but Brady looks like a liability for the Buccaneers more than an advantage for the Buccaneers. He's looking like a liability. Here's one thing I will tell you.
I wanted to ask one thing before you go on. Literally, what's the difference between Jameis last year and Brady this year?
Right. He's got 8 interceptions already. That was more than he had all season last year. Huh?
Jameis could actually throw the deep ball.
Yeah. That's one thing. Here's one thing. So my friends are huge Tampa Bay fans, so they came in very upset the next day. Understandably so. And I asked him, I was like, hey, Lawrence, my friend's Lawrence. He's like, hey, Lawrence.
Just kidding.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence. But I asked him, I was like, what went on? I just trolled him. I said, what went on? I'm like, Brady looks like garbage. He's like, man, it's Byron Leftwich. Byron Leftwich, their offensive coordinator, former quarterback for the Jaguars, but he's been complaining about him forever all season. He's like, this is the game. He's like, Gio, this is the game that proves that Byron Leftwich should be gone from this team and is holding back this team. Because he's like, why would you just send while the deep ball isn't working all game and you're coming towards the last minutes of the game, you still have time on the clock and you're just sending the deep ball downfield and downfield. You're not running the ball. Like you guys been running the ball. They were running the ball effectively and they just stopped all of a sudden and they just started going deep. But one thing I will say, forget about who's calling the plays. It's Tom freaking Brady. You can't audible out of it when you see a cover 3 and you're throwing all your guys out there. Why would you throw that ball? Both the times, Jordan Fuller had 2 picks on that in that game. Both of them were the same exact play. So if I'm Tom Brady and you see a guy getting covered with safety help in the middle, why the hell would you throw that ball? It makes no sense. So, I don't know. Brady looks like trash.
Lauren, your opinion on him?
I think the thing is Brady has been on this Tom Brady diet where he can barely eat anything. And I feel like a person can't lose that without eating sugar. Like, I feel like that actually might be maybe affecting him. Like,
he's losing it.
Okay, but really, though, he can't throw the ball down the field, it seems. It seems like this dude cannot throw the deep ball anymore.
Yeah. And there was a stat out on I saw
it was
like
so short too. The ball was so short. It was nowhere. It was getting nowhere near the receiver.
I just want to say I saw it was floating around on Twitter. A stat about Brady on throws down the field plus 15 yards or more. He's like rated as one of the worst quarterbacks in the league on throws 15 yards down or more down the field.
And they're talking about Drew Brees. And then they were talking about Drew Brees. Come on now.
I mean, I thought earlier in the season Drew Brees didn't look that good, but
yeah, he not look good. But Brady's got 8 picks and counting, and that's more picks than he's thrown all year.
Brady have the same number of picks this year,
huh?
Right? Brady has 9 interceptions, right?
Yeah, he does.
So does Aaron Jones.
Yeah, 9 interceptions, and he had 8 all season last year. So he has just as much, and he has just as much as
Daniel Jones.
Except he has like triple the touchdowns. But
Daniel is also the GOAT.
Yeah.
and then the final one for tonight, guys. Who's your coach of the year? Because honestly, it comes down to 2 coaches for me. Mike Tomlin, because while I don't believe the while I don't believe the Steelers are a great 10-0 team, Mike Tomlin got them at 10-0, and also he's never had a losing record as a coach. I'm surprised he's never had a Coach of the Year award before. He's a great coach. And then my other dude is going to be Brian Flores, just because it's a continuation from his work on last year and what he's doing with the Dolphins and having them in a great spot right now.
You start, Lauren. You can start.
Yeah, I actually have to agree with that. I think Mike Tomlin is definitely one of the guys I was thinking. Brian Flores too, because I mean, the Dolphins, their rebuild has been going very well, and I mean, he's been doing a great job. And the other team that I talked about tonight was the Panthers. And depending on where they end up this season, I don't know what their last few games look like. I don't know what their schedule looks like. Actually, I don't know. I was gonna say maybe Matt Rule, but you can't yet. You can't do it yet.
I mean, I see Jaden says Mike or Judge. I mean, if Joe Judge somehow gets Coach of the Year, that means he gets us into the playoffs.
No, but I don't think he should win it anyway, because the only reason why we would get into the playoffs is because the rest of the division is terrible. At the end of the day, we still had a 6-10 record, so I wouldn't nominate Joe Judge.
So but, KB.
Oh yeah, but I would definitely have those two coaches in the mix. I'd probably take Flores. I'm all about the underdog, and Flores, what he's been doing, he's ahead of schedule right now as far as rebuilding teams go. I mean, they just started their rebuilding like this year, so last year, but they got 2 of this year. So so they are way ahead of schedule, way ahead of where Las Vegas was a couple of years ago when they got Gruden. And then hopefully the Giants are.
Speaking of that, would John Gruden be in the mix as well? Because he got the Raiders looking real nice.
He would definitely be in the candidacy. Like if there's a top 5, he's definitely there, but just towards the bottom. And I would definitely have Brian Flores and Mike Tomlin as well. And you bring up some good points. Mike Tomlin never got Coach of the Year before, and his team is at an unexpected 10-0 right now. So he's probably going to be nominated for that. I would just give it to Brian Flores because of nobody thought anything would come of Miami this year, at all. And here they are. They've got like 6 or 7 wins right now. So they're playing out of their minds right now, and they're looking to win the AFC East. Like think about that. They're going to win the AFC East.
Was it last year that people were like, yeah, the Dolphins might not win a game? Was that last year?
It was last year.
Yes. Yeah. We never. And then they finished 5-11. And then they finished 5-11
because they started out like 0-8 or 0-7 or something.
Yeah, but not only that, they were getting blown out by like 40 points. Like they got blown out like 59-10 their first game. So
Ravens versus
the Ravens.
Dolphins, yeah.
And then they got smoked by the Patriots the following week. So yeah, then they beat the Eagles, which was nice later on in that season.
So yeah, I mean, hey, we've said it before too. The Giants this year are probably the Dolphins last year. And it would be amazing if next year we are what the Dolphins are this year.
That's like a great case scenario. You know what I mean? If that's the situation, you have to be ecstatic.
Yeah.
And it looks like Flores, Judge, Belichick coaching tree. Belichick coaching tree doesn't have a great reputation, but with the more recent coaches, it's looking good. I know technically Vrabel isn't a disciple. He was a player under Belichick. He's doing amazingly in Tennessee. Flores, Judge is off to a good start. Now it looks like that's starting to turn around a little bit. But, hey, man, listen, it was a great stream, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. Shout out to the chat. We got Nerding Out Sports, Edward Chan, Jen Dawkins, Giants fan, Bradley, Kenneth, Mikey C. A lot of people, other people in here whose name I'm not seeing right now. Shout out to Kidblue coming on, my co-host, and the guest, Lauren from She Got Sports. Both of their links are down below. Any last thoughts, guys, before we close it out?
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, all that stuff.
Not too early for Merry Christmas, but definitely happy Thanksgiving.
It's not Thanksgiving. It's not Christmas yet. Damn.
Nah. All right, we're gonna be out, guys.